Creating and using the perfect tech stack should not feel like a second job. If you're signing into multiple programs with a CRM over here, an email marketing tool over there, social media scheduling in another place, calendar and booking appointments in yet another tool, plus possibly connecting them all together with some duct tape, crossed fingers, and hope, I'm sure you feel there must be a better way. Maybe you've heard of HighLevel, but you're not quite sure if it's the perfect solution for you or not. Well, this video is for you. My name's Catherine Ferris. I am the owner of Marketecs and Marketecs Engine, where we help small business owners, entrepreneurs, and small but lean marketing teams figure out their marketing tech stacks. And we help them figure it out in a way that works for them. We find tech stacks that fit your business and not the other way around. So today, what I want to do is share with you the ins and outs of HighLevel, why it might be a good solution for you, why it might not be a good solution for you, how it might compare to some other major tools that you might already be using or have heard of, and share a couple real life examples of clients that we have helped choose both to use and not to use HighLevel. And I'm even going to walk you through 5 questions that I use as a checklist to determine if HighLevel is a good fit for any small business. So let's start with a quick baseline to make sure we're on the same page about what a marketing tech stack even is and what it looks like for the average small business owner. So when I say marketing tech stack, what I'm talking about is we see small business owners with a social media scheduling tool, an email marketing platform, maybe a separate, or it could be combined with your email marketing, but a CRM tool that you may or may not use well, an online scheduling or booking tool. A web page or funnel builder is often also involved in small business marketing and online marketing. Then you may have some form of payment processing interwoven into several of those places, as well as chat widgets, online surveys, form builders. Oh, let's see. Affiliate management tools, reputation management tools, reporting tools. All of these pieces could be part of your small business, your company tech stack, all contributing to marketing, sometimes overlapping with some of the operations pieces. And each piece often working on its own and sometimes integrating with each other, either through built-in integration, if you're lucky enough to have one, or yet another tool like Zapier or some sort of in-between program that helps these other programs all speak to each other, making this big web of technology behind your marketing and operations. And a lot of times, which programs speak to each other is even one of the deciding factors as you're looking at which programs to use. More often than not, when we have a new client reach out to us and ask how to build certain platforms or sales funnels or whatever it might be that they're looking for, that's part of the conversation is, what sort of tech do you have in place? What are you missing? And then we have to pick and choose how we fill each one of those gaps based on what they already have, not always what's best. So those integrations and that tech stack piece is exactly what we're exploring today with this conversation about whether HighLevel is right for you and your business. That being said, HighLevel is sort of trying to fix this problem of the splintered tech stack and the duct tape and manual processes that might be involved with keeping all of those different programs together right now. So all under one umbrella, HighLevel offers a CRM. It offers learning management, which is online courses, online communities and memberships, which a lot of programs don't offer. You can get all of your automated appointment booking, all of your email marketing, social media scheduling, including automating all of these things, and all the pieces that combine them together into workflows where now your calendars can be communicating with your email marketing, and they're not separate systems, they're all together, and they're all updating your CRM at the same time. So if you have been working with multiple programs, hopefully this was a little bit of a light bulb moment where you get that feeling of, oh my gosh, yes, I'm signing into 5 different places and I could be signing into one and going to just the different sections. That's the big difference between HighLevel and these other platforms. Another big difference is definitely cost. I'm going to get to that as we dig into the 5 questions that I like to ask. And I will say, our agency, we have been helping small businesses for over 16 years. And in 2024, we actually dug in and really started exploring HighLevel pretty extensively. It's been around for a lot longer than that, but that was when we started making the switch and our clients started really making that switch over to HighLevel. And so since then, we have actually become a HighLevel agency. And what that means is that we actually get to build our own workflows and our own processes unique to our clients' needs right on top of the HighLevel platform. And then our clients can actually be part of our ecosystem, or they can go to HighLevel directly. So it actually works both ways. All right. So with all of that context in place, let's get to the real reason you came here, to find out if HighLevel is right for you and your business. Okay, so one of the first questions I like to ask clients or potential clients when they're coming to us is, what is the problem you're trying to solve? What is the biggest pain point that makes you think you might want to switch your platforms, your technology, your tech stack? Now, some of the common answers that I hear in this is that there's a disconnect between programs. The leads are coming into one program, they're not getting recorded in the CRM, the email marketing is separate from SMS marketing. They can't send SMS reminders for appointments because they're in different programs. So that disconnection is often a huge pain point. Another big pain point that I hear is just the number of programs and the overwhelm with, okay, which program do I have to go to run one campaign? We have to sign into first a page builder and then a form builder. And then the email marketing comes from another place and the SMS from another place. And then we have to book appointments in this 5th place. And we're paying separately for all of them, which is common problem number 3. Simply the prices of all of these pieces literally stacking on top of each other. And then if you need that connector, you're having even additional costs there. So missing information, too many platforms, and too high of costs for the current tech stack and platforms are 3 very common pain points that I hear from people coming in. If any of those sound familiar, then I would check off question number 1 as being, yes, you should continue to look at HighLevel. But if your main problem is, I just want to be able to send a monthly email newsletter, then HighLevel might be a little overbuilt for you. You might just need a simple email marketing system, and there might be a little too many bells and whistles inside of HighLevel. If your problem is that you would like to add pipelines and workflows and have a complete system all in one, then you definitely want to keep researching HighLevel. All right, question number 2 is surrounding the CRM conversation. And this is not necessarily a make or break, but it is a really great question to ask yourself is, do you really need a CRM? Do you really need a place that tracks all of your conversations between your clients, whether it be email or SMS, or whether it be a comment on a social media post? Because yes, those are all integrated in this system in one place and in one view. You can see what page somebody clicked on to get onto your list, what they liked, what they commented on, what other pages they viewed, what emails they opened, what they've responded to, what tags they have because of how they've moved around your system, what purchases and payments they have. It's all in one place in HighLevel. So if that sounds overwhelming, if that sounds like more than you need, if you're not looking for pipelines that can actually walk people through stages saying that they're a lead and now they're a prospect and now they've booked an appointment and now they're either won or lost, or maybe an onboarding process that you have. They booked an appointment, now we need to send a welcome letter and we need to get a contract signed and if you don't need that kind of customization and those kinds of insights into your list, then you may not need a CRM. Not saying HighLevel couldn't still be right for you, but the CRM factor is not going to be the make or break for you if those pieces don't sound exciting. All right, question number 3 is the big one, and I've already alluded to some of this, is how many different platforms are you paying for? I find every time I ask this question, it's way more than people think. So you really need to sit down and make a list. Make a list of all the different, really it's marketing and operations technology that you're using. For example, some of the things that come to mind immediately are probably going to be that email marketing and maybe your social media scheduling tool. Those are obvious. People always mention those ones. And then when I mention appointment booking, they tell me about another one. Typically, I would say 8 out of 10 people that come to us have appointment booking. And I would say the 2 that don't, they would like to have it, but they've been avoiding it because they didn't want to pay for an extra program or set up an extra platform. So again, there's a little piece of that. There's what you're currently paying for. And then there's also what you've been avoiding or missing out on because you didn't want to pay for more. So make a list of all the standard stuff that you're currently paying for, and then maybe the things that you've been avoiding or putting off that you would like to have. Think about, again, email marketing, social media management, your appointment booking, SMS marketing, funnel or page builders that you're using. Payment processing, not so much Stripe or PayPal specifically, because you're still going to have to connect those. But if you're using another third party, like say Sam or Kartra or one of those, then list that under the items that you're currently paying for. Any survey tools or quiz builder or form builder tools that you're currently using and paying for. Chatbots, AI agents, reporting management, reputation management, affiliate management, all of those things, plus document signing and potentially invoicing an estimate. All of that can be done inside of HighLevel as well. So there is a lot to consider here. There's a lot to think about from your initial process of attracting new clients all the way through signing up new clients and your onboarding process. There is task management and actual some project management in there as well, where it's not quite as robust. Not everybody can get rid of their project management software as well. But there is, for those people that just need a few tasks, you may be able to even consider that. So truly make a list of everything you're currently paying for and then compare it to what you're going to pay for HighLevel, which if you go to HighLevel directly versus going through an agency, you're going to get a lot less support and you're going to get a bare bones account, but you're going to pay very little. And if you go to an agency, you're still, I'm sure, going to pay a fraction of what you're currently paying for these other platforms. The rule of thumb is that if you're currently paying for 3 or more programs, you will save money by going to HighLevel and you will get access to all of this. Course building, online communities, it's unlimited file storage. All of this is included for one price. There are some add-on fees or some pay-as-you-go fees if you want extra and advanced stuff, but I can guarantee you, like I said, if you're paying for 3 or more programs currently, you should be saving money with HighLevel. And that is always a huge part of the conversation when we start talking about migration and whether somebody should be switching their platforms. I'm interrupting this video to make sure that there is no confusion about HighLevel or about how to work with me. If you want to try HighLevel but don't want to waste months trying to figure it out, I have 2 very clear options for you to consider. If you're looking to build an agency or a SaaS business, head over to marketecs.com/HighLevel. By using our affiliate link, which costs you nothing, you will get the following bonuses. Our Marketecs Engine Core Snapshot. This is all of the features that we install in every new Marketecs Engine user account, and we're giving it to you for free as an affiliate. Our onboarding guides and access to our private community. An invitation to join our weekly live office hours, where I personally will answer questions and even share tips that I've learned throughout the week. And I'm constantly learning. There is so many new features and things to learn in this industry as a whole, not to mention within the HighLevel platform. Plus, we'll give you our additional templates, checklists, and migration guide. That's option number 1. Option 2 is if you are a business owner just looking to improve your own tech stack and you don't want to do it alone. You would like a trusted strategic partner in your corner that speaks the language, brings you time-tested automations, proven strategies, and up-to-date learning. Then go to marketexengine.com and book a consultation with me to learn more about our high-level agency, Marketecs Engine, and joining our ecosystem. I'm also currently offering discounts on one-on-one consulting to any of our affiliates and HighLevel users. So whether you're building an agency or building a business, pick your path and let's drive results. Now, back to your regularly scheduled programming. All right, next up, question number 4. What sort of support do you have? So this is an important one to ask yourself because platforms do not run themselves, especially all-in-one platforms that do require some setup, some management, and just some know-how around them. And this is not high-level specific. This is any marketing platform. This is any online platform, right? Any automation platform. So this is an important one to consider. Are you tech savvy and do you have the time? Or do you have someone on your team already who is tech savvy and can own this as a new system, either learn it or already knows it, perhaps? Do you have a techie VA that could take on more hours and really be the inside person for high level for you? Or do you have the budget to hire someone and bring on someone to join your team, even if it's temporary? And keep that in mind. You could simply bring somebody on for onboarding and to get you all set up. And then there are a million tutorials out there on the web. We have quite a few on our own YouTube channel. So there are lots of solutions for this one, but it's an important one to think about. Maybe not so much about whether high level is right for you or not, but around the timing. If you don't have somebody now and you don't have the budget to hire someone, that could delay your choice to switch to high level at the very least. Hopefully it won't completely turn you away from it, but it is a consideration around timing. And my final question that I usually ask people when they ask me if high level is right for them and if they should switch is around timeline, because again, we're talking about a robust system. And so if somebody thinks that they're going to migrate their entire system, if they're a mature business and they think they're going to migrate their entire system in a week, that might be unrealistic. Maybe if you had a full-time person on the job as far as migration, that could be possible. But typically we take at least a couple weeks to a month to migrate somebody over. And a lot of times that has to do with working around current promotions, working around cleanup as we're moving things, because it's very rare that, especially an established business, decides to move their tech stack and doesn't do cleanup or make changes in the process. So keeping all of that in mind, you want to sort of plan out your migration. And if that's not something you're able to do, it could be a reason to delay. And we do offer migration guides. So our agency is called Marketecs Engine. And Marketecs Engine, like I said, sits on top of high level, and we're able to then customize it for our clients. So we have pre-built workflows and landing pages, example forms and tags, and all of those things that our clients get when they sign up with us. In addition, we have an onboarding checklist as well as a migration checklist that we give them, basically a project plan. We also have tutorials and even a 3-day implementation process, which is about 90 minutes a day, that gets you through all those one-time startup things. But as you can hear as I'm talking about this, it is a little bit of a process. So it is helpful to know that there's an easier way to get it done, that if you do things in a certain order, you can even move parts of the system and delay others. And this is going to be a little bit different for every scenario. If you have a specific program that you're paying a ton of money for right now that you really want to get rid of, then that's going to become your highest priority. And that's going to be the thing you want to migrate first. Or you could look at what's easy to get rid of and migrate first. So there's a couple different ways to come at this because you are looking at likely streamlining anywhere from 3 to 6, even more programs. You may want to pick and choose and do them at different times and stagger that migration so that you can learn as you go and really get it right. So if you're willing to take that staggered approach, high level is probably going to be a great long-term solution for you. If you're really looking for a flip the switch overnight transition, you might get a little frustrated. And that said, we have had clients that have still taken a bit of a hybrid approach. Because the price point of high level is so affordable, you don't always have to give everything up. You could say that you really like the learning management system that you have right now, where you have 50 online courses already built and you're just not ready to move those. Well, chances are, even if you don't rebuild your courses and you just use high level for the emails, SMS, pipelines, workflows, and those things, you're still going to save money getting rid of your other programs. And you're going to have, say, 75% of your tech stack in high level in comparison to 100%. And maybe over time, as you make changes to your courses, you just rebuild one course at a time. And so you can think of it that way too, in a slow roll or a staggered approach. All right, now I promised you some real life examples. So I have a couple for you here. Like I said, both examples of people that did and people that chose not to move. So first off, I have a solo management or leadership consultant. And this person, their tech stack was not super deep. Their tech stack was, they were using Keap for their email marketing and automations and workflows and those types of things, their forms, their CRM, although as a solopreneur, they didn't really use the CRM functions too much, but they were using Keap for that at a price point of about $500 a month. Then they were using Acuity for their appointment booking because although Keap has appointment booking capabilities, they did not meet this client's needs. So they needed a different program for appointment booking. That said, they have been able to move both of those pieces over to HighLevel. HighLevel's appointment booking does meet their needs. Then they had social media scheduling, which was only about another $50 a month for the platform that they were using for social media scheduling. And they were actually missing SMS marketing as well as a separate landing page or funnel page builder. They were completely missing those things. And they did not have any learning management, no online courses, no communities to worry about. So the transition for this client was pretty quick. We moved everything, migrated everything in about 2 weeks. And they went from paying over $600 a month to paying under $300 a month. Definitely cut their price point about in half. And we moved it over in about 2 weeks. That felt like a win-win for them. And they now just have one login, which is so much simpler as well. All right, our second example, which was also a good case for HighLevel, was a lawyer, a law firm with a small team, about 5 people in the office, very high-end lawyer, elder law, also was using Keap for their email marketing and automations, Schedule Once for their scheduling. They had a social media scheduling tool, an automation tool as well. And they had lead pages for their landing page builder. So landing pages and lead pages, but then that had to be connected to Keap to actually build their funnels and workflows, and all of their lead magnets and automations and email marketing went through Keap. But again, they needed a separate appointment scheduling tool because Keap's appointments just really weren't working for them. And Keap is also known as Infusionsoft. You might know it as Infusionsoft, their previous name. So they, again, were paying probably close to $700 a month for their tech stack and what they were using. They were still missing SMS messages. They did not have a course builder or online community platform. And for a lawyer, they were actually missing review management, which could also be really helpful because lawyers will be location-based, and that could be a great thing for their business. So we were able to add in those missing pieces, replace everything else that they were using except for their actual practice management software that they kept. And they also went from spending about $700 or $800 a month down to about $300. And they added more tools all under one sign-on instead of multiple sign-ons. So again, you can see how that's a win. All right, our third case study was actually someone who chose not to use HighLevel. And this was somebody who is currently in Hubspot. They are under an amazing founders deal where they were paying $50 a month for Hubspot. Now, they also use a separate scheduling tool, but that scheduling tool is only like $20 a month. And all of their social media was actually scheduled through Hubspot because their scheduler does work pretty well. And they didn't have too many more needs than that. So their current tech stack was actually under $100 a month, already built, integrated with their Gmail account. They actually do use their CRM, and HubSpot does have a pretty strong CRM, and those integrations with Gmail are really good. So we actually did a trial. We took a look at some of the pieces, and there were just a few things that they couldn't really make the switch easily on. This was a single marketing consultant who had a VA. The VA was also limited on time and not necessarily able to own the migration or the new tech. in this case. So this was a case of all of the things sort of not falling into place, where they didn't have the person, the money didn't matter to them, they didn't need a lot of tools. And so after doing a short trial, basically they decided it wasn't going to be a good move for them. The time and investment was actually, it was going to cost them more, and they were going to have to migrate everything and figure out all the new integrations. So they chose not to use HighLevel. And I completely respected and backed that decision once we dug into what they really needed. Now, that being said, another client of ours who we had worked with for years, who was also a HubSpot user, she was paying HubSpot over $1,700 a month. And this again was a consulting type business, small team, about 4 people in this team, plus some contractors that she could call on as needed. They were using HubSpot, similar to the other client I was just talking about. They were using it for landing pages. They were using it for social media scheduling, for their CRM. Although they weren't using the CRM as heavily, those features were not as heavily incorporated as the previous HubSpot user. And they were really just using it for sales funnels, right? So sales funnels, social media scheduling. Then they had a separate calendar booking situation because they didn't like the calendar booking within HubSpot. They also had to pay for a separate SMS text messaging service. That was an extra $20 a month. And they were incorporating Samcart because it worked better with some of their outside learning management tools. So they have online courses and a community and all these other pieces that they were also paying for separately. They had a lot going on. They were probably spending over $2,000 a month on their marketing tech stack. And they were able to get rid of all of it and go down to just $300 a month with HighLevel. That was a huge win in that case. And where there may be a couple small considerations that they had to give up from one platform to another, the amount that they saved and being able to integrate those all in one place made it completely worth it. So that's 4 scenarios where you can see some people had small savings, some people got extra components added to what they were now able to do in their marketing, some people had no savings, and then another one was a huge win. So you really have to look at what you have going on and decide where you're going to be best suited. If you've stuck with me through these 5 questions, through these real life examples, and you've been thinking, yep, that sounds like me, that sounds like something I'm still interested in, and I would like to check out HighLevel, there are some links down in the description. There is our affiliate link if you would like to go to HighLevel directly. We also have a link where you can check out Marketecs Engine if you think you'd rather be part of a community and get some more support as well as the tools to help you get set up fast. And if you found this content helpful, I hope you'll like the video. I hope you'll subscribe to the channel, check out some of our other videos. We have a ton of HighLevel tutorials here if you are thinking about getting started and need some help with some of the different features within the platform. I also hope you'll consider sharing this video with other business owners or marketing managers that you feel are drowning in tools. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to leave a comment.